Hi guys, it's me JB. Just come on and give my opinions on what's the views on people treating the cup competitions with complete disrespect. I'm talking about two top end managers in particular, a certain Mr. Klopp and a certain Mr. Guardiola, who would like to see possibly we want to disrespect the traditions of our English game. Guardiola wants the EFL Cup abolished, but it gets worse than that. I think both managers should be ashamed of themselves. This is devaluing the values of English football. Pep Guardiola's got to place Manchester United next up. They're both complaining about fixture lists and things like that. And then, you know, we've got to respect this winter break that the Premier League have put in place. I'm sorry, but the Premier League don't run football. The Football Association are the governors of the English game. The Football League and the Premier League do not have the casting vote on all this. And as far as I'm concerned, they have to be ashamed of themselves, because this is devaluing 138 years of history. The FA Cup, been played for on and off, you know, since 1872. It's the oldest cup competition in the world. I grew up watching football, and I grew up watching the FA Cup. I got interested in football with the idea and with the theory that success was based on teams winning silverware and not £130 million. That's why I came into being a Burnley fan, because one day I hoped that my Burnley side would win the FA Cup, not for some, you know, listen, don't get me wrong, finishing 12th or 13th, winning 140 million, staying in the Premier League is not bad if you're a money man. But we're not talking about money men, we're talking about traditions of English football, and it's not right. There's just something fundamentally wrong with the attitudes of football, of the top flight clubs. They're disrespecting the lower end of the spectrum, you know, the lower league teams or the non-league teams. I mean, Gary Lineker made an outrageous suggestion that we should start the FA Cup at the start of the season. Well, what did they do at the start of the season? They start the FA Cup with the non-league teams. You know, what do you want them to do, Lineker? Play non-league teams to start playing it at the end of May when the cup final's finished? Do me a favour. It's a joke. If foreign managers in this country are complaining about too many fixtures, why don't they cancel their stupid, pathetic pre-season tours and hold games at their own ground? Then that way you avoid all this nonsense, which is absolute, which I believe is correct. And I'm in the middle of a lot of school kids now. Who's this prat talking to a camera? But I don't care. My problem is this: Mr. Gordon, the big teams should not get everything their own way. The Premier League's become this monster for 25 years, and it's got to the stage where it's bigger than anything else. The other problem is we've got Champions League as well. They get the most attention. Now I believe the FA Cup should be taken seriously, and the League Cup. God, I can remember the days when teams won top flight titles won doubles using 14, 15 players. You know, the whole fundamentals of the game are completely and utterly flawed, and it's just not right. And if people want to use the comments to criticise my theories, then they ought to be ashamed of themselves, because I'll be quite frank with you, the FA Cup has been disrespected this season, and also another thing that hasn't helped the FA's cause by holding the 5th round draw on the One show, which is not a football show. Hold it on. If you've got any sense, FA, hold it on a Sunday afternoon after a live match, not on a ridiculous programme called The One Show, which two man and a dog watch. Who watches that crap? You know what I mean? It's just, I just get the sense that English football is not the traditional game they want, and the Premier League don't help. They're just a bunch of, if they had their way, no money would get filtered down to the lower leagues, and I think that's wrong. The Premier League, the problem with the Premier League is it's one big juggernaut. Now, the other day you heard me commentate on one of the best cup ties we've ever covered on the JB Clark YouTube channel for quite some time. I mean, yeah, we've had some dramatic games in the Premier League this year, but nothing, I've got to be honest, nothing came close to what Shrewsbury did on Sunday. Now, we only covered one tie, but I knew it was going to be the Shrews game, because it was the tie of the round. It was a big day for them. They had television there, they had terrestrial national television there, full house at the New Meadow. It was just, that's what football to me should be about. I mean the Premier League's a great product. Let's not get bogged down by that, because we can't lose sight of the fact that the Premier League's a fantastic product. It's awash with money, but you look at the Championship, a lot of clubs now are, if they don't get up in the first 2 or 3 years, they're looking at transfer embargoes and fair play penalties and Christ knows what. And if Villa get relegated, well, they could be in a lot of trouble with the authorities over the fair play financial thing. But the FA Cup, though, scrapping replays, that's taking again the charm out of the FA Cup. After the fourth round, after the replays of the fourth round are completed, they don't get a second chance. No, it's fair to say, I think if the game had been played over the one game, I think if it had gone to extra time, I think Shrewsbury could have nicked it. I don't think there's much doubt about that. But they've got themselves the money spinning tie, and this is what winds me up about the big teams. This is why they disrespected Shrewsbury. Yeah, Klopp can say, I feel sorry for Shrewsbury. Don't get me wrong, I love Jurgen Klopp, I love his enthusiasm. I like the way he speaks a lot of the time. On Sunday and in the press conferences and the like, I think he's totally bang out of order. To say that he feels sorry for Shrewsbury is the understatement of the century. It's almost doing them a disservice. Because you look at the way Shrewsbury play, we should be talking about a great comeback by Shrewsbury Town on Sunday afternoon, not about Klopp's comments. He has ruined any credibility the FA Cup, this season's FA Cup competition's got, unfortunately. And Pep Guardiola, to a certain extent, complaining that the crowd was half full, but the City have done everything they can. It's a Sunday afternoon. People have got Sunday routines. You don't want to go and watch a game which is going to be so one-sided, let's be fair. And also, the selection of that game, Man City Fulham, was the most ridiculous selection for television coverage ever. It was so much one-sided game. Who in their right mind would tune in at 1 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon to watch Manchester City absolutely slaughter 10-man Fulham? He didn't stand a dicky bird's chance at the start of the game, with all due respect to them. It's just not on. BBC and BT or whatever, and I hope when ITV come onto the scene in a year or two's time, that they actually carefully select what ties they're going to show. And if they want to, fair enough, if you want to show Man United and all that, and it gets the most interest in terms of viewerships, it's up to them. But from a competition point of view, focus on one or two of the big clubs, focus on one or two less of the big clubs, and more on maybe the lower league teams. Shrewsbury got good coverage and deserved a lot more praise than what they got, I think. And this is where I draw the line with Klopp. He's going to put the under-23s out, and he's not going to turn up. I think that's disgraceful. And he's going to have Neil Critchley manage them. I think that's disrespectful to Shrewsbury. It's disrespectful to the FA Cup. It's disrespectful, in fact, I'll go as far as to say this. It's disrespectful to English football. It's not on. I'm angry that Burnley haven't tried enough on Saturday to get through to the next round of the Cup. Part of me was annoyed and jealous when the draw was made last night. You know, again, arrogance when I tried to tweet the football clubs, media man. You know, the league's important. Also, you're going to be, nobody remembers a team. No one remembers a team finishing 13th that wins about 100 million quid, staying in the Premier League. You know, but they'll remember somebody holding a trophy in the air. Tell that to Wigan fans, tell that to Wimbledon fans, tell that to Coventry fans. They still go on about their Cups triumphs in 87, 88 and 2013 respectively. That's what the FA Cup should be remembered for. That's what teams should be remembered for, winning trophies, not finishing halfway up a Premier League and winning £200 million. The whole game has gone mad. Anyway, that's where I've got to end the video. If you have enjoyed the video, please leave a like, stay subscribed to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Of course, hit the notification bell. What do you think? What do you think teams must do to respect the FA Cup again? And should the FA Cup have an image change perhaps? For example, not holding draws on the one show and things like that. Let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, have a fantastic day and I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye bye.